The Gangs Behind Bars, Prison Gangs, Part 3. Godwin says Texas should never have outlawed smoking in the prisons, adding cigarettes as trade goods contraband to the prohibited list. If you go back to the Civil War era to Andersonville Prison, Godwin says, of the prisoner of war facility for Union soldiers, you will see that the first thing that developed was a gang because someone had to control the contraband. That is power. I'm convinced that if you put 3 people on an island somewhere, 2 would click up and become predatory against the other at some point. But protection remains an important factor. When a new inmate enters the prison system, he is challenged to a fight. According to a Texas state pen prisoner, the outcome determines who can fight, who will be extorted for protection money, and who will become a servant to other prisoners. Those who can't join a gang or afford to spend $5 a week in commissary items for protection are destined to be servants. Godwin explains, the environment is set up so that when you put that many people with antisocial behavior and criminal history together, someone is going to be the predator and someone the prey, and that is reality. The Texas inmate describes a system in which gangs often recruit like fraternities, targeting short-term inmates because they can help the gang pay them back, so to speak, when they leave prison for the free world. Most of the groups thrive on lifelong membership, according to the Florida DC, with blood in, blood out oaths, extending leadership and membership beyond the prison into the lucrative drug trade, extortion, and pressure rackets. Prison gangs operating in Texas and Florida include NETA, the Texas Syndicate, the Aztecs, the Mexican Mafia, the New Black Panthers, the Black Guerrilla Family, Mandingo Warriors, Aryan Brotherhood, La Nuestra Familia, the Aryan Circle, and the White Knights. Some of these gangs have alliances, and some are mortal enemies. Many on this list originated in California over the decades. Some of them, such as the Texas Syndicate, to protect members from the other gangs. In addition, street gangs such as the Crips and Bloods and traditional racial hate groups such as the Ku Klux Klan also operate in the prisons. What prisoners may not realize is that because the gangs are monitored by prison authorities, the law enforcement community is becoming very sophisticated about the gangs. 60% of what we learn about what is going on in the city streets of Florida is garnered in prison and not from observing the streets, says Godwin. Prison officials say they concentrate on inmate behavior to identify gang members. They do not single out gang leaders to strike any deals because acknowledging the gang as anything other than a security threat group gives them too much credibility. This has been a particular problem in Puerto Rico with the native and political Neta gang. Recognizing groups during the 1970s in a system in which prisoners have the right to vote has led to a tendency among politicians to award clemency to some inmates. Thank you for listening to part 3 of this reading.